It began as any other day would. People carried on with their daily activities, oblivious to the fact that all would alter in a matter of seconds. Suddenly, there was news. It also seemed like a kick to the heart for people who are familiar with and enjoy gospel music. Something serious had just happened to Donnie McClurkin, the guy whose music lifted hearts out of darkness and whose voice comforted millions. It's amazing how quickly life can change. Something unexpected brought down a happy face and a powerful, positive presence. Fans around the world were shocked by the swiftly spreading news. Many first refused to believe it, but often, the most painful truth is the one we least want to acknowledge. This goes beyond a single celebrity. This story is about a person who provided others strength when they were lacking it, someone who battled his own storms in silence while assisting others in healing. People are now left looking for explanations, hope, and prayers, while that same light appears to be fading. Gospel singer Donnie McClurkin is more than just that. He is a representation of grace, courage, and survival. His music may be particularly potent because his path hasn't been an easy one. Donnie was born in a small South Carolina hamlet and experienced severe discomfort at a young age. He overcame emotional wounds that left permanent scars, abuse, and the death of family members. However, he chose to use that pain as motivation rather than allowing it to ruin him. His lifeline was music. People sensed something peculiar about him as soon as he joined a church chorus, a voice that seemed to emanate from a place of profound truth. In addition to talent, Donnie's songs eventually spread outside of churches. Songs like Stand and We Fall Down from his breakthrough album became anthems of hope for people all over the world. Sweeping the gospel scene, he received numerous accolades, including Grammys and Dove Awards. However, the stage was never Donnie's top priority. The folks were the ones who would approach him following a performance and tell him, "Your song saved me." He didn't consider himself a star. He considered himself a servant, sent to use music to heal. Donnie never faltered in the face of illness, heartache, or personal struggles. Although his life was honest, it was never flawless, and people were drawn to him because of his honesty. He was singing more than just notes. It was narrating stories, tales of suffering and recovery, faith and fear, adversity and fortitude. He served as a living example of how shattered things may yet be beautiful. Everything took a terrible turn just a short while ago during what was supposed to be a night of celebration and applause. At a crowded Atlanta church gathering, Donnie McClurkin was in the middle of a live performance. It was electric energy. As usual, the throng stood up and joined him in praise. Then, however, something altered. According to witnesses, Donnie abruptly stopped singing after finishing one of his most impactful songs. He put his hand to his chest and staggered a little. People initially believed that he was just overflowing with emotion. During church, he frequently feels profoundly touched, but in a matter of seconds, it was evident that this was a more serious situation. As adjacent musicians and singers hurried to assist him, Donnie gripped his chest once more and carefully lowered himself to the ground. There was stillness in the room. Some people were crying. Others were paralyzed in shock, and you could hear them praying under their breath. The already on standby emergency workers rushed in. He was awake, but clearly distressed. He was moved off the stage and into an ambulance that was waiting outside by paramedics working quickly. News quickly spread like wildfire via gospel communities and social media. During a live performance, Donnie McClurkin passed out. "Pray, please." Witnesses described the scene as strange, like to witnessing a pillar fall in slow motion. It was quite disturbing to see him weak and exposed for someone who always seemed so powerful and collected. A happy evening suddenly became a fervent request for God's forgiveness. Although the cause has not yet been officially announced, family sources claim that Donnie had been feeling ill earlier in the day but insisted on performing, stating, "They came to worship. I can't disappoint them. The world is holding its breath as he now requires assistance." The instant the public learned of Donnie McClurkin's collapse, a flood of feelings poured across the gospel community. Social media quickly became overrun with messages of urgent prayer, love, and worry. Church leaders, fans, musicians, and even strangers who had never met Donnie came together because they shared a common pain. One of Donnie's closest friends in the business, Kirk Franklin, shared a straightforward statement on social media: "My heart is heavy. Please offer up prayers for my brother." Sweenens posted a photo of Donnie, along with the message, "Your voice is still needed. Your heart is still needed. We stand by your side." In an Instagram video, Yolanda Adams, who was clearly upset, begged her fans to stop and pray at that very moment. Close friends and family members gathered in silence at the hospital, many holding hands, praying, and waiting for news. There was more than one famous person in that room. Donnie is family to them. According to reports, his staff, which consists of individuals who have collaborated with him for decades, was shocked. "He's always the one with strength," said one long choir member. "We are carried by him. This is not how we usually see him." Immediately, churches all around the nation reacted. Congregations in Houston, Los Angeles, and New York staged impromptu prayer vigils. Some merely got together to pray for Donnie's recovery, canceling their midweek services. Donnie wrote the praise tunes that pastors used to lead their flocks. They sung words he had once used to console people, their voices breaking with passion. Public figures and media celebrities acknowledged Donnie's influence even outside of the church community. According to a well-known radio broadcaster, Donnie McClurkin is a healer in addition to being a singer, and the healer needs to be healed right now. However, the most heartwarming reaction was probably from regular folks. Strangers posted thousands of comments, individuals sharing their own tales of how Donnie's music helped them cope with addiction, sadness, divorce, or the loss of a loved one. "I was about to commit suicide 10 years ago when Stand appeared on the radio," one woman wrote. "I had second thoughts. Please don't abandon us, Donnie. You are still needed." Even though it is tragic, this event brought individuals together who were all calling for the same thing during a time when the world sometimes feels divided. Another miracle. Many are reminded of Donnie McClurkin's past experiences as they wait for an update while glued to their phones. Count the number of times life knocked him down, and he got back up stronger than before. Donnie's life was full of hardships from the start. He didn't have a comfortable childhood. He experienced tragedy and loss as a young child that could have destroyed anyone. After his younger brother passed away, he saw his family disintegrate, and he endured that grief in silence for years. He was misunderstood, mistreated, and abandoned. However, he never allowed it to define him. Rather, he continued searching for something more than the agony. And he discovered it in God and music. People heard more than simply Donnie's voice when she sang. They experienced his faith, his healing, and his wounds. However, there was a man who was still struggling behind that voice. The world never witnessed the wars he fought. He once talked candidly about his profound loneliness, emotional scars, and perplexity. When the stage lights went down and there was nothing but stillness, there were moments when he wanted to give up. Then came his fight with disease. Donnie received a covert diagnosis of a rare autoimmune disease years ago. The majority of individuals were unaware of it. He continued to perform, travel, and inspire others. His buddies would advise him to rest and take care of himself even when his body was worn out and hurting. "If I have one more day, I'll use it to bless someone," Donnie would say with a simple smile. He is the type of man that does that. A fighter, a generous person, and someone who puts others before oneself. And he returned even after a horrific vehicle accident that nearly killed him and rocked his family. He spent weeks recovering from broken ribs and side agony. However, he returned not just to sing, but also to testify and demonstrate to others that surviving is not only feasible but also strong. His past serves as a reminder of his true self as he lies in a medical bed today. Not merely a radio voice or a gospel singer, but a survivor, a guy who has faced the flames and endured them with dignity, a man who always said, "Use me," without ever asking why. And perhaps that's why this particular moment is so painful, because it makes us realize how much they mean to us and how human they truly are when someone so strong suddenly becomes vulnerable. The hospital room, where Donnie McClurkin is being attentively watched, is the center of attention right now. Doctors moved swiftly after he abruptly collapsed during the live performance. They conducted a comprehensive battery of tests and stabilized him en route to the hospital. Donnie was conscious but weak when he arrived, according to family sources, and his vital signs were alarming enough for the medical staff to transfer him to critical care. Although the exact cause of the collapse is still unknown, preliminary investigations indicate that it might have been caused by a combination of severe tiredness, elevated blood pressure, and potentially an undetected cardiac condition. It's painful, but not unusual for someone who has been constantly pushing himself by touring, evangelizing, and recording. Donnie has always been the type of person that prioritizes other people. Through sorrow, he sings. He talks through exhaustion. He puts everything he has into helping others. His body is now telling him that it has to slow down, possibly even halt for a while after years of leaking out. A family acquaintance told a Christian news outlet that Donnie is resting, being closely watched, and being kept comfortable, but the hospital has not issued an official statement. His loved ones acknowledge that the next 24 to 48 hours are crucial, yet they remain optimistic. In addition to keeping an eye out for any signs of improvement, the experts caution that stress or overdoing it could exacerbate the condition. All forthcoming appearances and concerts have been canceled by his team. After months of waiting to see him perform, fans will now be hoping for a different type of miracle. His rehabilitation, not a song. Although they have requested privacy, his family is grateful for the overwhelming support. One of his employees left a subdued note on the internet. To inspire the world, Donnie sacrificed his life. The world is now giving that love back. Remember to pray for him. There are currently no assurances. It's a sensitive position, but this is the one thing that people are clinging to. Despite facing darkness in the past, Donnie McClurkin has always emerged with light. Fans are not the only ones who have been shocked by Donnie McClurkin's abrupt collapse. It has prompted a profound moment of introspection among all members of the religious community. Because what does it say about the rest of us if someone like Donnie, a spiritual giant and a warrior of worship, can succumb to the effects of stress, exhaustion, and pressure? Questions are beginning to be raised by pastors, worship leaders, gospel singers, and regular believers. Difficult ones. How frequently do we check in with our leaders? Those who sacrifice all for us, sing over us, and pray for us. Do we overlook their humanity and merely perceive them as strong? There is more to Donnie's breakdown than just a medical issue. It's a mirror. It serves as a reminder that everyone has limitations, even spiritual heroes. Bibles carry more than just microphones. They bear the weight of others, the dread of displaying weakness, and the pressure to remain tough. And sometimes it becomes too much. Previously, churches did not discuss rest, but now they are beginning to do so, discussing exhaustion, mental health, and how faith is more than just enduring hardship. Knowing when to pause and take a breath is also important. When to say, I need help. When to allow God to work through silence rather than just action. Since the occurrence, a number of prominent pastors have spoken out. During a live broadcast, a preacher stated, "We have made our spiritual leaders into machines, but Donnie's fall served as a reminder that even machines break. It's time to allow our warriors to recuperate." Additionally, fans are reflecting. Many people who believe that Donnie was unstoppable are now learning how fleeting life is and how crucial it is to cherish others while we can, to recognize their humanity as well as their gift. The way gospel music is practiced may be altered by this tragedy. Perhaps the strain to go from city to city without rest won't be felt by artists. Perhaps leaders will begin incorporating more healthful routines into their life. Perhaps the community will learn to support their bodies, minds, and hearts in addition to their voices. Since Donnie McClurkin is a powerful man, it's possible that this isn't only his weakness. Perhaps this is our awakening. One thing is evident as we watch and await Donnie McClurkin news. This instance serves as a reminder of the true value of life. It demonstrates that even the strongest people can experience hardships and invisible conflicts that call for assistance, grace, and patience. For many years, Donnie has used music and faith to share his journey, serving as a voice of healing and hope. It's our chance to be the ones providing strength via love, support, and prayers as he deals with his own health issue. The legacy of Donnie is already safe, regardless of what occurs next. With his stirring melodies and his example of faith in the face of hardship, he has impacted millions of people. More than that, though, he has served as a reminder to all of us that it is acceptable to be human, to require rest, to seek assistance, and to draw strength from vulnerability. We offer him our love and prayers, along with millions of other believers and admirers worldwide, and we hope that this well-liked gospel singer, who has inspired so many, will recover and return to the stage in better shape than before. Because having faith is more than just weathering a storm. It's about having faith in the subsequent calm. And the best is yet to come for Donnie McClurkin. I appreciate you joining me on this adventure. Please remember to treasure the people you love every day and keep them in your prayers and thoughts.